Your daily hour with me.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. We're on TV.
Where is it? Oh, there it is. There you are. I see you.
Once a day, every
in
day.
my imagination.
We turn on the machines and we stop talking an hour from now.
Yeah. We just go at it for 60 minutes.
You can see the viewers?
In my imagination.
It's Monday.
It is. It is indeed Monday.
And we're back here again on the couch every week on Mondays, and Dan's back from Monday.
Hello. Hello.
I like to say, when was the last time you were here? And it was Monday.
That's right.
Last Monday.
And the Monday before, and the Monday before, and the Monday before, and the Monday before, and the Monday
Well,
before, and the
one
Monday
of
before, and the
those
Monday before, and the
Mondays
Monday
you
before, and the
skipped.
Monday before, and the Monday before.
No.
and the Monday
One of
before.
those Mondays you
had a
skipped.
Wednesday.
I did.
That was
I
like
did.
You
2
went to
weeks
Wednesday.
ago.
That's right. So
3 weeks ago.
So omit the third and the Monday before that I said. So omit that. Let's say Dan was not there.
Yeah.
Dan was not present. He was not there. I was on the phone. Yeah, I was having issues.
Well, how was the week for you?
Huh?
Okay.
More
Yeah?
issues
I've
than
had-
Rolling Stone?
I've had better.
Well, that sounds better than last week, because last week when I asked you, I think you said bad.
Yeah.
So it's an improvement from last week then.
Do you have
yeah.
more issues than
It's at
Rolling
least-
Stone?
I filed for my income taxes. I'm getting a
it's tax
refund.
season.
It should be here in a couple weeks. And boy, oh boy, do I need it.
Yeah, you need some money, having money problems?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm broke already. Well, I'm not broke, but I'm used to having a larger pile of things that I need to get necessary things with.
In order a nest egg.
I trade those little paper objects, or possibly swiping my information, and there's a finite supply, and I have to make it last. See,
Or-
and food requires a certain portion, and toilet paper, and a few vices. What else? And stuff comes up. You have to spend.
Or,
money on things.
especially in my case, I start chasing after little
Yeah, you gotta live.
silver and copper coins. And
Well,
You live less. You gotta live less spendy. You gotta get.
Oh, there's not a whole lot of fat to
downsize.
trim. There's not a
Yeah.
whole lot of fat to trim.
yeah.
You gotta start trimming limbs
Meat. Yeah.
after you're done with the fat.
Yep.
I mean, you can still got all your
I don't got
fingers,
much.
metaphorical money fingers.
I
'cause
have a tiny bit around the middle.
Yeah.
I still have a tiny bit around.
You're gonna have to cut off your metaphorical money pinky,
Yes.
or maybe a toe. I think
I will have to spend $1 million.
maybe
less.
the end of one of your toes, metaphorical pinky toes. Maybe the middle toe. I think I would go for the end of the ring toe, maybe, because I think your end toes.
The pinky toe.
Yeah, well, the pinky toe. I think maybe you need the end to balance a little bit more. I think if you just did the one right next to it, then you could at least
Oh,
balance
yeah.
a little better.
Yeah, the ring finger toe.
Yeah, I think that would be the best appendage to
They
use
all
if you
have
had to do.
Greek names.
The pinky or the toes.
Oh, each one. The thumb.
Each finger
this
has
would
its
be,
own name.
Yeah, so that a doctor can describe in words which finger it was. The something
They don't want to
phalange.
say index.
These
finger.
are called phalanges. The fingers and your
Yeah.
toes are called phalanges. And the bones of the hand are called tarsals,
Uh huh.
and the bones of the feet are called no, carpals
Right.
and tarsals.
Because carpal tunnel's wrist.
Yeah, that's right.
Carp.
Yeah, I get the two
yeah.
confused. Yikes.
Medicine.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what's up in space news.
What about the streets? No streets?
Not much going on there.
I got a question.
Huh.
What, space question?
No, it's more science related.
Well, what about the streets for you, though, Carl?
Yeah.
Oh, not the streets for me.
No streets?
Just engaging more in GIMP tutorials to get stronger. better at what I'm doing.
Get stronger
for
in
art.
GIMP.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing with GIMP for about half a year now. Maybe a full year, I think.
Isn't it
I think a
amazing? You
year.
can have this program that is Photoshop-like
Yep.
without any of the license or the royalties
Yeah,
of
it's great.
spending it off to Adobe or
Wow.
whatever.
Yeah, I used GIMP to manipulate a picture of me that I posted on my Facebook as my face. My sister sent me these Canadian. I'm wearing a very Canadian shirt right over here, right now, right there. What you're seeing, right
No,
there.
it's just red and white. I don't know that it's really
giant red
Canadian.
maple leaf.
Well, it's because your microphone's in the way. There you go.
His Canada shirt?
Yeah.
Canada?
And it's got these little these little rubber things here.
Uh-huh.
Which one? Yeah.
Where'd you pick that one
My
up in
sister
Canada?
sent it to me.
In
She
Canada?
said she has sent so much Canadiana. It's hilarious, and those glasses that I wore have the Canadian flag in them.
Uh-huh.
And then,
Within the glasses?
and then I threw the image in GIMP,
Wow.
and I fiddled with the contrast and I fiddled with the colors. I didn't do any other manipulation otherwise. I like stating that so that when people see it, they have a sense of what I changed. I think the original image is fine, but I wanted to have fun. The pictures of my space models that I've built, I hung them in front of a large black sheet that I have, and I took a bunch of pictures, and I've got 4 or 5 different ones that I'm working on. From time to time, I'll work on this one, work on that one, and what I'm doing is adding stars in the background, and in one case a planet, and exhaust beam, ion beam exhaust from the back of the ship, or whatever propulsion it has that you see a purplish trail. Yeah. Ion engines.
Yeah.
Have I told you about ion engines?
Yes, you
Yeah,
have.
they blow single molecules out and then they go faster.
Yes, the nucleuses of atoms.
Yeah, so this is all stuff I've heard from you. I have never heard of them or looked at them at all, but from what I understand is that a rocket will have to go, they use all their stuff, but then it goes too fast and it's too heavy, right? Isn't it too heavy? Is that what it is?
Well, the thrust is really, really light.
But
It's a very, very low
it adds
thrust.
together.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And the ship slowly speeds up, and it goes faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster in a tiny increment.
Uh-huh.
So it's a low thrust, but in space, there's no gravity pulling you this way or that, and you just keep going faster and faster.
There's no
And then-
friction from air.
And then when you want to slow down, halfway there, you flip around and start slowing down.
Where are they getting all those ions from?
A
In the-
great big gas tank of typically xenon gas. It's a gas that doesn't react with anything, so it won't react with the lining of the tank walls. That's why they use xenon. It's a noble gas. All of its electron shells are full. There's a lot of electrons in there, and it goes in a microwave that strips the electrons from the nucleuses, and then it's got a tube magnetic field, and they go.
So you
shoot
can
out the
pack
back.
more nucleuses or electrons or whatever from this gas inside this tank than any other.
It's the most efficient space drive we have. It's
Well-
highly efficient.
Right. I know about the ions, but I mean the actual fuel itself. The actual fuel itself is it just
Liquid xenon. Liquid xenon.
You can pack more of it into this,
As a liquid, yes.
Wow.
Than as a gas. And
Wow.
just the pressure itself. You put it in a tank, and the pressure alone forces it into a liquid state. And it loses tons of heat to do this, so it can be denser, and the heat goes away, and that's why it's so freaking cold.
What, the gas?
The liquid oxygen, liquid nitrogen. That's why you put the nitrogen in a tank and add more and more and more of it, and have a super strong tank, and the gas eventually gets super thick, and then it precipitates and becomes a liquid, and loses heat in the process under this pressure. So liquid nitrogen is minus Oh, it's really cold.
It's super cold.
Yeah,
It freezes
it's-
anything.
Yeah, it's 20 or 30 degrees above absolute zero, I think. Maybe 50, something like that.
You can shatter people with it on TV. You freeze them. Or things, you can just freeze anything
Yep,
and break
yep.
it like an ice cube.
Yeah, it freezes it absolutely, totally, and the forms crystals all throughout. Anything with water turns into these crystals, and it fractures real easy.
We're playing the dice game here. We're getting out. Well, we've gotten out our
Okay.
pens. We're writing down numbers on our hands.
Okay, gonna use my telekinesis. Omicron Theta.
5. I lost.
Oh, okay, that was the wrong word to use, or possibly I was not. Using
Me too.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Really? Ugh.
It's
So what was the number?
number 2.
2, and you guys.
I have a 2 as well.
Oh wow, you both won.
It's no, it was a 5. It's just us versus you though. We're on the same team now.
See, I got a 3.
You got your 3,
Yep.
like a regular. Looks like Mr. Ginsu left us a ton of messages.
Yeah, because he wants to be a good contributor to this program, apparently.
Have you ever?
Like, good, like, in quotes. Like,
Have you
how
ever?
could
Have you ever
be-
actually? Have you been able to successfully listen to all of them?
No.
Oh, no, we still have a lot of archival Mr. Ginsu messages.
Yeah.
If that's what you mean. No, we go through those. I think we did that yesterday.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, we'll just go back and listen to the archival ones because there's a lot of them.
Back in 2012.
We're still in 2012. I guess we made it through at least the first couple of years, but I think
Oh, Mr. Ginsu.
Yeah.
on some days he would, I think like yesterday, he would just spend all day calling
Yes.
and leaving the messages and keep going with it. And there's a lot of them. I want to.
Oh, Mr. Ginsu.
Like, in particular, 2 hours try to tell some sort of dentist story.
And we got them all saved on the thing here. I still want to find an intern, and maybe he could make the intern could make it into a podcast or whatever it's called, a radio show. I don't like to say podcast, but radio show,
Internet radio show.
internet radio show, or we could just put it on TV anyway. I guess that would be. I mean, it would be the worst show. It's like the bad parts of the show with the all Ginsu messages, but I would hear those.
It'd be cool if you take a snippet and then loop it and then put music to it.
Yeah.
I would love to do that.
Yeah. We got a text message.
You know
Somebody-
it, baby. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Somebody texted. They said Jimmy Fallon looks like the Joker from Batman. No, what do you think? I think kinda. And then he says, "Is that mean?"
No.
Let's call them back.
Being honest, maybe.
Oh, they called
But,
it.
Now I guess this one person stay tuned to I don't know, NBC after the Super Bowl game or something. Who knows?
What's a what's a what?
I'm talking about this viewer that we're calling right now.
This is from yesterday.
Oh, so then that was
Oh no, this is from today. Actually, it's earlier today.
earlier today.
I don't know if they're gonna answer because if
This is Robert. Please
Oh, it's
leave me a
Bird.
message.
What?
I will return
it
your
didn't
call.
even do the thing. Bird says, "Does Jimmy Fallon look like the Joker?" Bird, did you get a new phone? What's going on with it? I don't even know.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and say somewhat,
A little bit.
a little bit.
Like, I could see him playing it, but I think the Joker has many.
What do you think? Is his chin maybe and his nose?
Yeah, the competition. He was on at the same time as us over there on the other channel. So, thanks for watching this show instead of that one. Talk about that show. Maybe Jimmy Fallon's gonna be talking about us next. Thanks, Bird. You can call
Oh,
us
that'd
back.
be cool.
Don't talk about me, Jimmy Fallon. We can get into these Ginsu messages. We got a lot of them. Mr. Ginsu left a lot of messages. I think he probably is just leaving them until he times out and then calling right back.
Yeah.
So there. Or maybe it's a story. Maybe we got a new story.
Yeah, a new dentist story maybe.
Well, he called. He left us a message, and then the next one's not for an hour and a half.
I told you, you little motherfucker. The Seahawks were going to lose, and you lost the bet. Now you have to be rude, and I have to be nice. Something like that. What the fuck is that about? That was a stupid bet. Fuck off. You ain't making that bet. Yep. I don't want to be nice. Seahawks lost.
Oh,
which
no.
means you have to be rude,
That was last
and I
week.
can
Old
also
news.
still be rude. That's the way that goes. Yeah, you lost the bet, bitch.
I didn't bet.
I didn't accept
We
that.
didn't bet.
What was the bet?
Mr. Ginsu tried to bet against me, and then I told him that I did not want to bet, and now he's pretending like there was a bet.
Oh,
I said, I don't want to bet, Mr. Ginsu, and
I bet a quarter.
yeah.
I
On
bet
the
a
game?
whole quarter. Yeah. We weren't willing to risk
That was
more than 25 cents, really.
Ugh.
That was old news anyway.
Yeah. I found a bottle of wine,
Oh yeah.
and it
Where?
gross out.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Mike Ditka wine.
Who's that?
Oh,
Merlot.
Mike
yes.
Ditka's the coach of the Bears, I believe.
The Bears. And what was interesting is that
Why do you know the coach of the Bears, Carl? I mean, is that like a?
Well, it's SNL lore.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there were a whole pile of Saturday Night Live skits, and one of the regulars played Mike Ditka, and there were a couple other celebs.
Mike Migers.
Did he do Ditka?
I'm starting to think I can't really just like dismiss anything I say in gut reaction. I need to ask you something about mental health a little bit later, but
Okay.
I think it's
Okay.
Mike
Oh,
Myers.
mental health
I think it's
Okay, well-
Mike Myers.
Well, anyway, part of the skit that they did repeatedly, they were always sitting around. There was piles of meat
Yes.
and beer, and one of them would say something, "Da Bears," and everyone would say "Da Bears."
Uh-huh.
And occasionally, he would talk about the basketball team, and they were "Da Bulls."
Yeah.
So when they did this repeatedly, so it's a referential thing.
It was really
Okay.
Chicago centric.
Yeah, very much. So anyway, he got the Heisman Trophy and Super Bowl in 1963, which was when I was born.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
So football wine
Oh boy.
with a nice SNL reference and 63. So
Did
How
it
was
actually
it?
have some sort of
it was pretty
thing
good.
about
It was from 1963.
No,
Oh.
he got the Heisman Trophy on that year, but
yeah.
was there a reference to SNL on the label? On the label itself?
No, not
the
at all.
beer?
Not at all. But every time I looked at it,
Oh boy. Yeah.
Have a
Right.
yeah.
citrus note.
Well, it's entirely possible that he has his own label of wine.
Yeah.
And
Well,
if that's the
he
case,
did have
I
it, right?
mean,
Isn't that what you saw?
well, is he still doing ESPN? Is he still doing the announcer stuff?
Well, I don't know who it. I've never even heard of the guy.
Mike Ditka. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a coach for a while. He's been Mr. Football for, oh my God. Who's the baseball guy?
Oh, he was kind of a rageaholic though when his team would lose.
Yeah.
Rageahol.
I guess all sports coaches are like pulling off their headgear like and slamming it on the field. What did you do that for?
Yeah.
I didn't tell you to do that.
There was another sports guy, I think it was football, that he became an announcer for a while. Oh, what's his face?
I think
What's
he
his
was
face?
played
The glove.
by
His wife got killed. What's his face?
OJ.
OJ, yeah.
they were
he
both
was,
employed by NBC.
well,
I think Mike Ditka was employed by NBC.
I think so too, but he was also a sportscaster, and
Yeah.
I'm thinking a lot of the sportscasters were they were football players, and they made some really big achievements, and so and they still love the game. They want to be involved in the game, and I think I'm still trying. No, baseball. This guy, real famous coach in baseball.
Pete
he was
Rose.
he was a famous player, and then he was a coach for a long time, and
Pete Rose.
then sportscaster.
Pete Rose.
Okay, sure, yeah. No, another guy before him,
Now
though.
it's info time.
Okay, I don't know. Here are answers to some frequently asked questions about the program. You're experiencing it right now. It's called Your Daily Hour with Me. It's a hyper-live hour-long call-in television talk show on your radio that's recorded in Thurston County every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, 366 on leap years. YDHWM began in September 19, 2010. Tapes a week in advance, so if you're watching this on TV at 11:30 p.m. on Channel 22 or listening on Koa Low Power FM 106.5, this episode taped the same weekday of the previous week. If you're watching this at 2 a.m., this episode taped the same day of the month of the previous year. You could also watch any episode of the program on YouTube.com. Anyone can come on our program, especially you. We rely on the community for content, so give us a call at 360-836-4384 and leave a message. We'll call you back on the next episode. Thanks for watching, and now back to the program.
Kind of like miming there. Try to get those words going up and seeing if
Possibly.
I can... Yeah, it's like miming.
Miming.
Yeah, I like miming. See, I got a window in front of me. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah.
Whoa.
Blah, 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 blah.
So what you're saying
We got a
is
mental health
the show is not
Yeah.
commercial free.
Yeah, and there's more science I can talk about, too, if you like.
Oh,
What's your question though?
So
Yeah. Now I'm curious.
When you were mentioning something about Rubik's Cube, I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah,
that's
the
not really
Rubik's
true.
Cube.
Could that be true? Was there really a cartoon? So I went home. And
Oh yeah.
Wait, what?
I saw
The-
there was a cartoon back in 1983, 84, and I was like,
Well, Steve, Dan knows about this cartoon first before you
Yeah.
talk about your internet looking.
Well-
So there was a cartoon
yeah,
with
there
a
was
an
cartoon
anthropomorphic
that was based
Rubik's cube.
on Rubik's Cube, like these four teenagers, like
What
had
year?
to 1983, 84.
Yeah.
And these four teenagers assembled a Rubik's Cube right, and he grew blue feet, and he had a blue face within the white area of the cube.
Okay.
What?
And I was like, I was wondering whether or not this was true. And
Was
so
it
I
real or
went
did you make it up?
home-
Is that
No. I went home and I saw that the opening trailer. You know, the opening trailer is constant.
For the cartoon? Yeah, yeah.
For the cartoon, it's
Yeah.
always played the same thing, and it's
Yeah.
repetition.
Well, did Lego Boy, right? Lego Boy, did he live in or Lego?
Rubik's cube?
Rubik's Cube. I was wondering whether or not what is it about?
It broke, by the way. The one I had broke.
Oh,
Oh, just now?
No, last night.
but it was
Oh.
real. The cartoon was real.
Yeah, it was real.
It was about
So I-
walking.
Yeah, this Rubik's Cube like could make all these other teenagers levitate and take them
It
away
was magic.
from danger or something. So
What
Nice.
kind of what kind of personality did the Rubik's cube have?
he was like I would say
He was
an
so
8-year-old boy, 8 to 10-year-old boy.
It was a kid.
He was so square, man.
Well, the voice, you know.
The voice was a kid. It was a Rubik. Was he a naive and like
well, I
kid-like?
don't know if he was naive, but I only watched like this trailer.
Yeah, but didn't you
And
watch
the
the show when you were a
intro-
kid too, though?
Well, yes, I did, but I didn't want to get into
I thought-
you know, tripping over, you know, historyama or whatever you would call it.
I kind of thought that the Rubik's cube would be a intellectual, or maybe like a robot kind of guy.
Well, I kept on watching it till the end of the clip, and then you got like this figurine saying it's Rubik, you know, like a 8 or 10-year-old boy would say, and I just have to wonder.
He said it's Rubik, and it's his own name.
He introduced himself as being Rubik.
But he would say it's Rubik.
Right.
What talking about himself?
I bet you
Right.
I know what happened in every episode. I think I can guess.
Okay.
They solved a puzzle.
Probably. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering whether or not.
Well, that must have been in the big.
oldest history lore or whatnot, if that do you feel does that create endorphins when you remember something that you like like memorabilia or whatever? Is that like?
I'm sure it makes
I'm
you
not sure if
happy.
I understand the nature of the question.
Well, like the part of your brain that remembers this cartoon or whatever, and it's like,
You
oh
can
yeah,
have your own
yeah,
memories?
yeah. Or you watch the movie
Okay,
and it's,
okay.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Is using that part of your brain? Does that create endorphins within your body?
Probably.
Or is that
It's
just
good for you're exercising your mind.
I'll say probably yes. Probably yes.
Wow.
They're gonna like.
So
do
it's
some
not just a placebo effect or anything like that.
I mean, it's not.
No.
That's like what makes you
No.
happy.
No. If you had really, really good memories with a series of events, every time you think back on that,
Mm-hmm.
the emotions that are associated with that memory come back as well.
Wow.
And that feels good because it's very pleasant. Of course there are endorphins.
Is it
How much, to what degree, where they land, I don't know.
And self-validating as well, I'm sure.
Well, I guess yeah. Oh,
Memories.
there was this show as a kid that I watched, and it was called UFO, and it was a BBC production, and with it was low budget sci-fi, but it was pretty cool, just the way it was set up. And I saw it when I was very, very young, in like before I started school and stuff. I was really young when it would come on, and I watched it, and then I didn't see it anymore, and for 30 years passed without this being a thing, and I started to wonder if it was just a fantasy or something I made up, or maybe it was a dream, a real
Right.
strong dream or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And then the internet's arrived, and I typed in UFO, and there it was, all the things.
That
Yeah.
you remember from.
Oh yeah, and I got a huge rush of memories of watching the show, and it felt very good. Yeah. The same is true of negative events as well.
Right. Did you replay some of those 50 or 30 or hour-long episodes, or however long the individual episodes lasted?
Yeah, they were
to
half hour.
watch?
Yeah, and it was an ongoing series. I don't know how many seasons it went.
But did you look up the individual seasons on YouTube or whatever?
I think there were 3. Yeah, I did.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was confirmation. It wasn't something I made up. It was real.
It was real.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I looked up Captain Scarlet. That was another one I liked. Another BBC thing.
Uh-huh.
The one with the rock Thunderbirds. I watched that. Yeah, I didn't get much American programming at all,
Oh yeah, the Thunderbirds. They're
but I got a ton of BBC.
claymation, or what would you call those figures?
That's how I can speak with a wee bit of an accent. I've been listening to it all my life. Yes.
Isn't that like what Team America was based on?
Thunderbirds?
Yeah.
No, the Thunderbirds was a family. And there was a dad and I think 2 or 3 brothers, and they each had their own rockets, and they rescued people and things.
Yeah. Well, there were like these monotronic or whatever, like wood puppets.
Another
or
one?
Something.
Land of the Giants.
Land
These
of
old
the
TV
Giants.
shows.
Yeah.
I think
That was American though.
they had all those shows that were advertising for toys back then, right?
Yeah.
So that's probably just like
Yeah.
a toy
Oh my
show.
gosh.
where
Well,
they
what's interesting is that I was a teenager when the Rubik's Cube was introduced to our society.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
broke yours though, huh?
So, oh man, it wouldn't turn. There was one thing, I couldn't make it turn. And I heard this rumbling or something like that in it. And I tried to make it turn, and I heard this this little plasticky thing, and 2 of the blocks fell out.
No, you can put it back
Yeah.
together, I think, though.
No, the plastic was broken.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So I guess you're gonna have to go to Toys R Us or something.
Yeah, I want to get one like that one. I have had that one for years and years and years. I've been fiddling with it off and on for years. And other people, I'll just leave it out and play with it. I would go through these periods where I would play with it and try and figure it out. And I figured out how to do one side fairly quickly. And what you got to do is the middle one always stays the same. The very center one always stays the same. And so you have to get, like, the reds are over here and the whites are over there. You have to make sure that it's white on this side and red on that side along the edge. Once you do that, you solve one row. And the second row kind of goes with it. You end up kind of solving the second row too. But the third row, that's where I've been having trouble there. That last row, I go to solve it, and it screws up the rest.
Yeah, you gotta have a long-term plan for that kind of thing. Here we go. We're playing the dice game. We're rolling some. Oh, what is that one? Number 1.
Oh man. Okay, using my powers.
5 again. Everybody lost, but that's okay. That's only half the game.
One more chance. One more chance to be winners.
So what you're saying is the show is not commercial free. It's just we do free commercials.
What?
Super.
We
Yep.
call it a commercial. It's not really a
An
commercial
asshole.
anymore.
Free commercials for people who don't pay.
Well, it's only
You
for
gotta be
us
a real
now.
asshole to do that shit.
It's called a
You know what I'm
promo.
saying?
It's not a
Kinda like
commercial.
me.
It's a
Kind of
promo.
like me.
We
I
call
do
it
a
a
lot of
commercial,
shit
though.
for free.
Well, yeah.
Means I'm a total
Commercials
fucking asshole.
promote and promos commercialize.
Right?
Mr. Ginsu is trying to find things to attack us for.
Of course.
He's trying to catch us in a lie.
Don't
Bury
fucking
that
take
truck.
too long to figure that shit out.
I'm a
Yeah,
liar.
once you freaking figure it out,
Why
then
don't-
you
why don't you relax,
freaking
Mr.
understand what you got to work
Search
with,
for
see?
lies.
Otherwise,
Searching
you know,
for lies.
fuck the hell off, motherfucker. Kiss my ass. You
Okay.
understand what I'm saying, motherfucker?
Well, I'm not going
And
to
if
if
you
you
don't
have it like
fucking
2
understand,
inches
well, then
in
I'm
front of
looking down
me.
at
I
you
think
can't.
I think maybe Mr. Ginsu has been drinking too.
SPFU.
I tend to be under the suspicion that he is inebriated whenever he calls.
No, I think most of the time he's not drinking. You can tell.
You don't
I
think
think I can tell this time he sounded a little.
The
More.
signal, the phone signal, is poor to the point where I don't think I could tell well.
Uh huh. What do you think, Carl? You think he sounded more inebriated this time than normal?
No, I think
Maybe-
the lines that he's calling from is that there are still lines within continental United States that when you dial in on phone lines, your internet connection drops. It's like the phone lines have a lot of maintenance left to do before everyone's fiber optic. But to answer your question, I think that there's not a whole lot of, maybe I'm wrong, but the quality of the phone lines in Oregon are about the same as Washington's.
Uh huh.
It's not like
Sure.
going to be like Nebraska or anything in the middle of the country, which I previously described. So that the I think the quality is good enough to pass for 128K or
Yeah, I
or
think I
something.
asked you if he sounded drunk though.
Oh no.
Oh no. Okay.
Yes, I'm not really sure what you're talking about,
Yeah.
actually.
Lord, never mind.
All right. Well, I mean that was a good talk
I'm
though. I
on
mean, I don't
a
know what you
daily
said.
hour. I could talk about whatever I want.
Yeah. No, you. I think that was.
God
I think you
dang.
did totally fine. That was a good answer. I think that's the best answer. That was kind of like a John Webster answer, though. You know.
Hey, did I tell you guys about this planet orbiting another star with a huge set of rings?
Yes, you
Okay,
did.
okay, I talked about that.
Oh, you
okay.
remember? I don't remember that at all. Is that last week? When did he talk about that? Was it last week?
Oh,
Carl?
that.
Well, last week probably.
Yeah,
It was
I
like
think so.
2.5 times the size of Saturn.
5.
I don't know what I
Five
remember.
No. Sorry, 200.
200?
Yeah, it's huge.
200
Oh
times
my
the size
planet.
of Saturn.
God,
The,
that's almost like
Saturn-like planet is actually a little bit bigger than Jupiter, so it's a much larger planet. It's bigger than Jupiter.
Wow.
Right.
Okay, and the ring of material, of debris going around it, is similarly larger like Saturn. Saturn is much, much smaller, and there's less of it, and so whatever makes the ring.
The scale of this planet, you're just.
It's way up there.
I'm forced to imagine yet again the movie Interstellar that I watched in this great big gigantic black hole. Sorry, spoilers, but anyway, it was an awesome treat to watch, and 200 times the size of Saturn.
Yeah.
It's a lot of times.
Yeah,
Dang.
yeah, and it's enough material for an Earth, for there to be a world the size of Earth as a moon going around this.
Whoa.
Oh,
You remember Avatar?
yes.
Okay, this was a
I've seen it.
giant, massive.
It's coming out in
This,
don't
this is
tell
not
me
a
about it.
spoiler. This is not a spoiler.
16.
Spoilers.
The
2017.
planet
maybe.
where the Avatar is was a moon of a giant Jupiter-sized planet, and it was really close to it, which would be just crazy on a planet.
What point? I don't know. But
Orbiting one of the
Alpha
stars in
Centauri.
Alpha Centauri, about 4.25 light years away. So,
Do you think life could be that common?
yes, I think so, absolutely.
Oh gosh.
Amino acids are produced in interstellar space. They're very simple little molecules.
Could there be a silica life? Alien life form rather
possibly.
than just like carbon?
Possibly, that's entirely possible. Silicon is the next best kind of little molecule where when you have a molecule, it's got electrons floating around it, and when the shells get filled, there are like these layers of electrons that go around. Some of them are slightly electronegative because it doesn't have the right number of electrons to fill its layer, and so it's electronegative, and some have one more and they're electropositive, and they connect up with another atom. Each atom they connect, and that's how they bond. And where was I going with this?
The
Silicon.
difference
Yeah.
and
So
carbon.
so silicon is the next best kind of atom that has lots of grabby points for other atoms.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Is there any other runners up besides silicon?
carbon? No, not really much else. Either they don't bond well. Carbon bonds great. Carbon is just really versatile in the way it can connect to other atoms. Whereas silicon is also better. We have a lot of silicate-based things. But carbon is super abundant. Super abundant. When they have been able to take the spectrums of planets, I think they're up to about half a dozen now, for sure. They've been able to tell what kind of gases are in the planet, and there's tons of carbon.
Okay,
And tons of water.
I have one last question though. Is there any resemblance of silica-based life on planet Earth right now that we could say, yep, that's not carbon, that's something else?
Not to my knowledge.
Oh.
Why
So
do you ask
carbon
him,
is
have you
so-
heard of this stuff, Carl? What is this even about? I've never even heard of the silica thing. Sounds like you've heard about it in the...
It's a science fiction-y thing that there could be silica-based life. Yeah, tons of sci-fi writers have written about this.
Oh,
this
yeah.
other very, very strange and different kind of life form.
Some kind of science fiction thing. Are you into that, Carl? You following this stuff, the silica stuff?
It's not it wouldn't be impossible. I mean,
It's not just fiction sometimes. Some things happen to be more or less fact. Is carbon so overpowering that, you know...
there's just lots of it, and it's really versatile. Like, for instance, right, let's say you have 50 planets, Earth is one, and the other 49 are around other stars, and they're in a nice place, right? Not too cold, not too hot. There's tons of water and rock, presumably, rock just like it is here, and water like it is here, and volcanoes, and all that stuff, and just similar conditions, very similar conditions, and the chemistry behaves exactly the same way on all 49 of those worlds as it does here. Chemical behavior is the same throughout the universe.
What the...
Okay, so
Okay.
identical
Wow.
or very close conditions, and whatever the odds are that life comes together, the odds are same there.
God damn. Okay.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll be back.
Coming up in the last year or something.
Your daily hour with
Oh,
Yeah.
hey everybody! It's Your Daily Hour with Me commercial. Charlie's here. We talk about some football stuff. We watched the Seahawks street team tape. Calls from McDonald's in Denver.
Even though they lost, call them losers. They're mad. Most of them are really mad.
Yeah, actually, very mad McDonald's. Some of the most angry. Charlie just knocked over them peanuts.
He's going for
He's
it.
gonna eat them more. Don't eat any more, Charlie.
Dang, Charlie.
You've had enough. Next week's President's Week.
You babbling brooks.
Daily hour with me.
Quite
Look
the
at
design.
Canada.
Quite the design.
Dan's from Canada.
See, and it's got these little rubbery things over here that are kind of
Rubber.
silicone or something. Yeah.
HBC. What's
Uh,
that? Home Broadcasting Channel.
Sure. I was going to say.
Homeboy Canada.
What does that say? HG?
HBC. Homeboy Canada. Holla back Canada.
Homeboy Canada. That's
Holla
what
back.
that is.
Well, then I'll have to do that right there.
Holla back
That's what I'll
Canada.
have
Homeboy. Oh, your rings, they cut me.
Ouch. Holla back Canada. Here's another-
Aye.
yeah.
Yeah. So, where was I?
So, Kenny,
Huh? Yeah.
Where was he?
what the fuck, over?
What?
Over.
I got a
Under.
question for you.
Okay.
Through. Yes.
Well, whenever I yanked the head off that little baby chicken,
Uh-huh.
and people said I was a mean, bad person, right?
Because you're eating live
And
chickens?
then you
Just
heard the
yanked
rest
his
of the
head off.
story, which somebody stepped on it,
Uh-huh.
and I seen it laying there. I stepped on it, or somebody else stepped on it. Somebody stepped on
Stepped
it.
on baby chickens.
But the fucking thing sitting there doing the old fish or whatever.
The old fish.
Was that nice of me to yank the head off that fucking thing?
I think you know the
Or should I
answer.
just sit
Actually-
there and maybe get up and run around?
Actually,
Well,
if he.
what- you stepped on the chicken, then you put it out of its misery?
No, he
by-
said someone stepped on it,
With
and
the
he put it
Seahawks.
out of its misery by ripping his head off.
Almost coming up with a win.
That would be a very
I
quick death.
think there maybe that little chicken
The bird wouldn't
had a
suffer.
chance. Maybe it would have just jumped right the fuck
But
up
for an
and
Yeah,
God, that's how I want to go out.
said, "Huh?
yeah.
No big deal. Step on me. I'm
Mr. Ginsu?
Seahawk."
I don't want to be
You
on
know?
a deathbed for 20 years.
Yeah, me neither.
You want to get your
I
head bit off
don't
on
know,
Mr.
but
Ginsu?
fucking, I need you to answer the question of,
I
was
would
that
s-
right of me or
First,
wrong
you
of
have
me
to
to
ask
yank
a
the head off that
question
little
before you can
fucker?
answer.
I would say if the bird was
So,
suffering, he did a humane
Next time
thing.
you call me,
But maybe
answer
he's
that question,
been
The
please.
method is unappealing.
For
Was
about
right
3
or
minutes
wrong?
now.
He did the humane thing. The bird would
Of
have
me to yank the head off that poor
Felt
little fucking
surprised
bastard
only.
Well, it
chicken
Turkey.
sounds like...
after it was
Oh,
stepped on, see?
yeah, okay.
So, I'm leaving it up to you to figure out
This
how
is
I
like a
feel
moral...
about that.
Mr. Ginsu's
So,
getting our advice
you let
on,
me know.
our advice on morality. Is this okay? Is this moral? We should call Luke.
He's asking, was that the right thing to do? Yeah,
It-
that's a
well,
moralistic
the thing
question.
is, Mr. Ginsu does this thing where he does like maybe the right thing, but he goes around about it in the completely wrong way. And then when you say, you know, you could have done that more tactfully, he goes, well, it wasn't it the right thing to do? And I was like, well, you're doing the right
Oh.
thing, maybe, but
Oh, but the means by which you do it leaves
Yeah.
something to be desired,
Like,
perhaps. How's that?
It sounds
How's that?
like you.
Did I put that tactfully?
It could have definitely maybe been okay. He didn't even give it a chance. I think he saw it get stepped on and he picked it up and killed it. He didn't even maybe it could have healed, or maybe you're.
I don't know. If it was a chick and someone stepped on it, that chick's gonna be hurting bad.
Yeah, well, and
Yeah.
whose chick was it? Maybe it sounds like he ripped the head off of somebody's maybe who is sensitive to that kind of thing, and then they're just like, did you just rip my chicken's head off? And he probably said something that's like, yeah, I did. I ripped that chicken's head off, right? It was stepped on, and then
Wait a minute, chick. Be
Chicken.
nice to girls.
Chicken.
Come
chicken.
on.
Did you say
Chicken.
chicken or
Chick.
chick?
Chicken.
You said chick
Chicken.
earlier a little
It's
bit.
I'm referring to a chick, like a bird, Carl.
Yeah.
Not like
Be nice to girls.
So was it
birds,
clear?
chickens,
Was it
chickens.
clear from what he said? Was it a chicken or a chick?
chicken or chick. It was a baby chicken.
So a
So
chick then.
A chick. But Carl, we can't say chick anymore because Carl is skewing the words. So anyway, the chicken.
it's just how it's
chicken.
defined
Chicken.
in Webster's
Chicken.
dictionary.
Chicken. Chicken.
Probably
Okay.
for
Chicken.
the
This
past
the young
30
Baby
years.
chicken.
Yeah.
Baby chicken. Are you happy with
women
baby chicken,
are
Carl?
referred to as chicks.
Is baby
sometimes.
chicken okay? Can we say baby chicken, or are you gonna
You know,
Start
we could say
skewing the words
whatever.
again.
We could say tomato, tomato,
baby chicken?
tumudu.
Well, I can't say chick. I
Okay,
gotta say baby
okay, it's
chicken.
settled. Baby chicken. So anyway,
So I think he stepped on the baby chicken, or somebody did, and then he
Yeah.
picked it up and rips his head off. And I imagine the the people around him just being like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm ripping off this chicken's head. Why? It was the right thing. I did the good right." And then he should have said,
It's my solemn duty to make sure that either I end life that is unhappy,
Yeah.
or help
something like that.
lives that are help.
At least
happy.
explain. I'm pretty sure he probably didn't explain himself with his next couple of messages. He's gonna say, because they were mad. They were mad at me. That's why.
I started swearing back at them.
Yeah. It's not the actions. It's Mr. Ginsu has a heart of gold. Sometimes people say, "Oh, by Angry Steve," and I like to compare Angry Steve to Mr. Ginsu, where Angry Steve I think does not have a heart of gold. Mr. Ginsu's heart of gold. So, but he wants to do the right thing, but he also wants to be crass all the time. So
Every day.
yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah.
I know that when I decide to do a thing, I am also deciding at that time how to do the thing. And if I think for any length of time, I usually consciously posit how other people might react
Yeah.
if I do it this way versus that way. And it's a real quick thing. It's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do it that way. People will get all get all upset or something like that. So I'll just do it this other way. So, yeah, it's an empathy thing. So I don't know, but I mean, how else? If you wanted to put a baby chicken out of its misery very quickly, what would be? And
Well, you would take it into a private place at least.
yeah, you wouldn't put it on display because that's not something that people are comfortable watching.
Yeah.
Yeah. Incineration, maybe.
Hello.
Take a
I
while.
was wondering how long it'd take you to
What, throwing it
freaking
in
get so fucking on the road.
Boiling oil.
Yeah, are you in a hurry?
Well, no.
Fuck you, I'm always in a hurry, motherfucker.
Yeah. What else you got to do?
Well, from what I remember, like when you're like France and the guillotine or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Your head gets snapped off and
Yeah, normally.
sent into a basket. Your head is still alive for maybe 5 or 10 seconds or whatever.
Yeah, that would be a freakish last view.
Yeah, so you would probably want to be instantly incinerated.
Yeah,
than
that would be hard to do though. You would burn first. Mr. Ginsu, we're talking about your message where you stepped on a chicken, baby chicken.
Yeah.
And what's your opinion?
Well, so where did you do it? Did you do it in front of people?
No,
You didn't have an audience?
There was nobody. Did you step on the chicken?
I don't know whether it was me or somebody else.
Oh,
I know I mean, I did rip the head off more than one chicken because I also stepped on one myself.
Uh huh.
Except for, you see the little guy in pain,
Yep.
and he's sitting there wiggling,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he ain't dead, but
He ain't.
He
alive
is
either.
Oh.
severely, fatally injured.
what would you do in that situation?
How do you know? How do you know how bad it is and why you stepped on a chicken? I've never done that before. I mean, were you walking around in a farm?
Well, if you got 30,000 chickens under your feet, and you're going to take the beak off of every one of them, Once in a while, one gets stepped on because they run like little they run around like little bastards. You know.
Did you work at a chicken farm?
I don't know. I'm just asking you a question, and you want your fucking answer.
Okay, is this a real story or is this a hypothetical?
It's a hypothetical, real story.
I think ending their lives very, very quickly is the humane thing to do. And if ripping their heads off is the fastest, quickest way you can do it, I would say that's a humane thing to do. It's probably what I would do.
Perfect. You're a good man. Okay. So I'm a good man. Whenever I was just saying that, I was like, man, I hope people don't think I'm a total asshole for ripping their head off.
No, I don't think so at all.
Did you even give it a chance? You want a number?
I would make sure the chick is fatally injured or injured beyond,
They were not going to be standing up.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah, because stepping on them, you'd crush their ribs, break their back,
Stuff
legs.
like that, yeah. That's what they looked like. They didn't
you want a
look
number
like
again?
they was going to walk nowhere anytime soon.
Pick a number.
I would say...
Number 2. I want number 2.
Oh. Lose.
Number
5s
2.
and 1s.
It's all 5s and 1s.
5s and 1s. We lost. Everybody lost.
All of us lost.
Oh, everybody lost.
Everybody lost. 5s and 1s. That's just a bad thing in general. I mean, you could just keep stepping on it. Why don't you just step on it a couple more times?
I can...
Well, see, it's not... Your job is to not step on them.
But you already did.
But if you already did, per se, step on one... It was humane of me. It was more humane.
Oh, absolutely. I would agree.
To kill it.
Listen, I had hamsters and mice and gerbils as a kid.
Yeah.
And there were a couple times they got out. I didn't mean to, and I stepped on them.
Oh no!
And it was
I've gone
it was
through
a
my
mouse.
whole life without stepping on small animals.
Yeah, and it was still alive, but it was crushed, and I had to end its life
Go ahead and
as
step
fast
on
as
it
possible.
again.
Pardon?
Did you step on it again?
Sort of. I just...
After you stepped on it and you seen it was crushed and it was hurt and dying, did you step on it again to make sure it was dead?
No, I used a different method, but
It's dark.
I killed it quickly.
It's
I
a
didn't
dark
want
question.
It to suffer.
About morality.
I didn't want it to suffer.
You used a poison dart?
No, it's dark. I said this is a dark question.
Yeah.
Morbid.
Well, I couldn't help it. I was wondering.
Yeah, same with
if
you.
I was wondering if I did the right thing.
Yes, you did.
It's time for a funeral.
I don't know. Maybe no. Did you work
I've
at?
had to do the same thing and for the same reasons.
Did you work at a chicken farm?
At one point.
That's pretty freaky.
Yeah.
Did you have to kill
For
them?
a day, I did for a day.
Oh yeah, and then what?
I couldn't hacking the beaks off the chicken.
Yeah, that's freaky.
Where was this at? Oregon?
No, Washington.
But you were hacking the beaks off of chickens for a day, and then it was not a good time.
That would be an awful thing to do.
It's probably somewhere in Thurston County.
Yeah, but you got to do that. You got to do that every day, like for 8 hours, just cutting off beaks all day.
Ugh.
No, you only do it for 1 or 2, 3 days, and then you're done with like 120,000 chickens, and then you get paid a bunch of money.
Whoa!
Because you get like 2 or 3 cents a piece for each beak.
Yeah.
And if you do fucking 1,000 chickens, that's $3,000, right?
Wow.
No, 300.
Okay, you do 30,000 chickens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got $3,000.
Yeah, you got to drop a zero.
When you eat chicken wings, that's like
300.
That's like 10 birds on the plate. Like,
yeah, sounds like
you might get 5 or 6 cents a beak. I'm not totally sure of the price of the beak.
You know why they have you cut them off, right? Why?
Yeah, so they don't kill each other.
Yeah, because they are shoved together in a pen in the thousands, and they are crowded, and they will peck at each other because they're crowded in a dark, warehouse.
And they'll blind each other by pecking each other's eyes out and kill each other. Once they get this blood in their mouth, then they want blood.
Yep.
So yeah, you just.
Well, I don't know if
You
it makes a
just
difference
cut-
then if you're cutting off one or breaking one chicken or not, because you're spending all day cutting off chickens' beaks. I don't know why you'd be worried about stepping on one.
Because it was wriggling around in pain.
Well, I mean, that's what they're doing after you cut off the beaks and send them in the farms anyway, but,
Exactly.
yeah, you probably could have killed a
Well,
couple of them and they
see,
wouldn't notice.
That's part of the other thing. I was looking at them, and they're fucking not really totally fucking enjoying the fucking getting their beak cut off thing, but they don't really care that much.
Oh, yeah?
Does it
Except
bleed?
for whenever I did it, I didn't do it properly enough, and
Yeah.
the lady inspected them and then went ahead and finished chopping their beak off a second time because I didn't do it properly the first time.
Oh,
And so I felt bad, so I figured I really don't really need that job, do that job.
yeah, it's freaky. Someone's
Yeah,
got to do
it's
it, though.
freaky. It's a freak job, man. It's like,
Would their
it's hard to
beaks,
do.
would their beaks bleed?
Pardon?
When their beak would be cut off, would it bleed?
No, it's cut off with a hot knife.
Yeah.
Cauterizing knife, huh? Ooh,
That's right.
Oh, yeah, that would hurt.
freaky.
That would hurt. I didn't know their beaks had circulation. That's part of why I asked.
Yeah.
It's material like your fingernails, but if it has circulation, it would have a little bit of feeling, I would think. At least nerves.
Right. Well, if you cut it
sensitive.
too tall or too much toward the nose,
Yeah.
where their little nostrils are, then they might be a drop of blood if you get too far up there.
Oh,
Ooh.
dark stuff, huh?
I mean, no.
It's
But-
Carl's favorite job.
Yeah.
You can do them real fast, and they only make you work like once or twice a month or something, and it's a real cool job to have if you
Yeah.
can
Real cool.
put up with like 95 degrees all day long.
Oh, man.
Only for a
yeah.
couple of days, though, and then it's done with.
Yeah. Well, that's
Right.
And it's hotter than hell in that barn. In the barn, it's hotter than fucking hell in there.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all that heat from the chickens.
Yeah, they heat it up for the babies because they're so little. They can't, it's cold out there, and they gotta heat that fucker up so
Yeah,
that
and
they don't freeze.
And the babies aren't kept with their parents, with the hens. And
Yeah.
normally the babies would, get all nurtured and be under the wings and stuff and stay warm that way.
Chickens aren't
within
cold-blooded?
the nest.
But they're separated.
Are birds warm-blooded?
I
thought
think
Yes,
birds
they're
are
yes.
cold-blooded. Oh.
No, birds are absolutely warm-blooded.
Okay.
Warm
They
blooded.
evolved from dinosaurs, though. Did
Yes,
they not?
yes, we're eating dinosaurs.
So dinosaurs
Golly,
warm-blooded.
I got some pot plants
thought
that are up to
dinosaurs
my
were-
chest.
considered
Yeah.
Nice.
cold-blooded like turtles are.
Yeah.
The rest of them are up to my hip.
They're not.
But
What?
When did you step
Wait,
on this
what?
chicken, Mr. Ginsu?
Are
Was this a long time ago?
I'm not certain.
Yeah,
It
but
must
you're-
have been 7 years
Yeah,
ago.
reptiles and amphibians
7 years ago,
are
you're just thinking about it, though. You're like
yes.
thinking about the time you stepped on a chicken.
and what's the difference between
Yep.
reptiles
Hey, it's
And because I mentioned it on the show before, and I mentioned it in a story that was a bad story probably, and then you had to hear the second part of the story before I turned into the good guy.
all right. Well, we didn't
Current-
listen to all the messages, but it's the end of the show.
Current theory is that there were reptiles on the Earth, and dinosaurs evolved from reptiles.
Oh, this is crazy. I'm getting the head snap.
Thanks.
404 file not found. So
So,
Thanks,
so
Mr. Ginsu.
birds are a distant relative.
Bird.
Yep.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, have a
thank
good
you,
one.
Bird.
Bird.
Yeah.
We appreciate
Robert.
Well, thanks, Bird. Thanks, Dan. Thanks for showing up. This must be Monday.
It's Monday. You know what day of the week it is.
No
Thank you,
fucking
Mr.
shit.
Ginsu.
Thank you, Mr.
It's gotta be
Ginsu.
Monday.
I wish you the best in your horticulturalness.
Why, thank you.
You
That's
have a
very
good
good.
day of the
Very-
week?
Very kind of you.
Oh.
Hey, By the way,
Yes.
the Seahawks lost. And
TCTV, that was last
cut
week.
things.
I never wanted to bet on that. YDHWM.com has some sympathy.
I bet a quarter. I lost a quarter.
360-836-4384. Leave a message. Get on
so
TV.
sad.
Who goes from on the crew?
Hell yeah, dog.
Cosmo, Deb,
We're not there
Franny,
yet, bro.
Gene, Lisa.
Thanks for showing up, Kenny.
My pleasure. UFO FBI,
My
You're
pleasure.
welcome.
I get pleasure
TCTV, Crystal Ball,
every single
LeBebe, Jordy E. Fabulous, Thurston County, Washington State, USA. Thank you.
You did a good job, Dan.
Good job. Hell
You did
yeah,
not-
dog.
you did- you did a hell of a
Woof, woof.
quiet over there in the corner.
Bye-bye.
But you did a